Hi everyone, welcome to my channel, the Nooi channel, and today's video is going to be a review of the movie Jawaani, Deewani, which was released in 2013. So I'm not really someone that watches Bollywood a lot, or even at all really, so please forgive me for not knowing about this incredible movie sooner. So it goes like this. Memories are like a box of chocolates. You can't stop at just one. And that's what Naina says as she narrates the story, looking at her photo album. So then we cut to 8 years ago and we see the main character, Naina, who sees her former classmate, Aditi, at the grocery store. And this classmate looks like a white lady, but she speaks perfect Hindi. And even though she dresses like an American with short shorts and a bandana and all of that, her mannerisms seem very Indian, if you know what I mean. Well, anyway, she says she's studying art at college, and Nina's mother cuts in to boast that Nina is studying medicine and she's at the top of her class. They're both currently on vacation though, and Aditi is going on a holiday trip the next day with some of their high school classmates. After that, we have another song and dance to introduce the male lead, Kabir, aka Bunny. At Naina's house that evening, her mother speaks badly about Aditi, but Naina snaps that at least that girl is having fun and enjoying her life. College is very stressful for Naina, obviously, and she has to spend all her spare time studying, so she has some regrets about not living freely like other girls her age. At Kabir's house, he gets home late, but his father is there waiting up for him. There's even food and fruit waiting for him. And what a saint he has for a father, but I feel like this boy is kind of taking advantage a little bit. He lied to him about where he's going on holiday, but his father found the pamphlet in his room for where he's actually going. And the father is cool with this. And he even bought him a new backpack to take on the trip. But Kabir is upset because his father went snooping in his room. And dude, you have no room to complain, because why would they trust you and give you privacy if you lie about simple things? I guess at some point the father remarried and Kabir is acting out. But she seems like a nice lady as well. She walks into the room, and remember, it's the middle of the night, so she probably woke up from bed and she gets him juice to drink. She also explains very gently that they're not rich like his friend's parents, and she even gives him advice that he should be saving his money. And does he listen? Nope. He tells her she's not his real mother and that he's funding the holiday trip. So, of course, it's very easy to judge him because it's just a character. But the way I'm reacting is probably the way they wanted these first few scenes to be interpreted so that this character can evolve by the end of the movie. So don't worry, I get it. And then there's also this meme about how as a child we relate to Ariel from The Little Mermaid, that she's old enough to make her own decisions. But then as an adult, we relate more to King Triton. Even though I didn't watch this movie as a teenager, as an adult, I'm relating more to his parents in this scene. Also, the actors playing the leads don't look like they're college aged. They should be 18 or 19 since they just finished high school and are in their first year at college. But everyone, especially the leads, looks so much older. Okay, so Naina decides that night that she wants to go on the trip with her classmates. So she leaves her mother a note and then sets off for the train. But then when she gets there, she hesitates because this is the first time she'll be traveling alone. She's been very sheltered her whole life, basically. But luckily, Kabir is there and he reassures her that this will be fun. He also asks her to call him Bunny instead of Kabir, which, yeah, that's just silly. Kabir is a better name. I remember in high school one day, my English teacher was marking the register and called out this long Tamil name, and at first we didn't even know who she's calling until the boy eventually raised his hand. And then we realized for half the year, he told us his name is Jason, not the Tamil name. But at least Jason was his second name, not like Kabir making up the name Bunny. So while on the train, they start playing Never Have I Ever. So I thought this was going to be a trope where Naina tries alcohol for the first time and gets super drunk for comedy relief, and then Kabir realizes she has a wild side and there's more to her that meets the eye. Trust me, guys, this is an actual trope. But, anyways, in actuality, she doesn't drink at all. The way this game works, they each take a turn to say something they've never done, and if you did the thing, you have to take a drink. Naina just feels more left out and out of place because she hasn't done any of the things they ask about. She hasn't even had her first kiss yet, so in an effort not to embarrass herself further and feel worse about herself, she says she's going to sleep. And the main cast vibe very well together. When they get to the cabins, Aditi is oversleeping, so the boys sing a song to wake her up. But when they forget the lines, Naina jumps in. And I like how they don't make a big scene of it, they just include her in the antics effortlessly. The next day, on their way to the next site, they form two groups and race to see who will get there first. The loser has to set up camp, and the winner gets to relax. Kabir and Avi are the team captains, and Kabir is in the lead, so he relaxes with the other girl. Her name is Laura, in the middle of the competition and starts flirting with her until they notice that Naina has overtaken them all. So Kabir leaves Lara and rushes to catch up with Naina. While they're talking, Kabir tells Naina that he flirts with girls like Lara because girls like Naina are not meant for flirting with, they're meant for love, and love is bad for his health. So it's misogynistic, romantic at the same time, and it's kind of exactly the way rom-coms usually go. When they get to camp, Kabir already makes friends with the German group, and they all go to a party at their campsite. But Nina stays behind to study. Kabir approaches her, and even though she says she doesn't want to go to the party, he's able to read her correctly and gets her to confess that she does want to go to the party, but it's hard for her to fit in, and she always feels so boring. She says even from schooling days, it's so easy for Kabir to fit in because he's always so cool. And then Kabir says he thinks she's cool and brave for coming alone on this trip with 25 other people. He tells her she needs to stop feeling sorry for herself and to love herself the way she is. He also says she doesn't smile enough, and if he had a heart, he would lose it whenever she smiles. Guys, this movie is adorable. And I didn't think the casting made sense at first because to me, they both look too old for these characters. But then there's moments like this when they look at each other and Kabir looks so sincere and Naina is smiling so innocently. And I think they're both great actors here. Then there's another song and dance when she joins the party at the German campsite. This song covers the rest of the trek to the highest point on this mountain and literally takes a few days. And during this time, there's a lot of longing looks exchanged. There's group photos of the four friends, there's snowball fights, etc. In the middle of the night, Kabir sets off for an even higher point that they're not supposed to go to, and Naina joins him. Once they get there, she plans on making a wish. But while they're getting there, they both drink alcohol, and he shows her his scrapbook with different destinations he wants to visit. She's initially dismissive and says that it's going to take a lifetime to achieve all of that. But he says, yes, that's fine. He wants adventure out of life instead of doing boring things like studying, then working, then getting married, then having children, and finally dying. And I kind of get it, but at the same time, I don't. He still seems a bit selfish to not want to get a good job and support his father, since the parents mentioned at the beginning that they're not wealthy. Anyways, Nena loves his answer, and you can see she quite admires him for being so sure of himself and what he wants to do with his life. They reach the top of the mountain early the next morning, and Nena finally admits to herself that she's in love with Kabir. She doesn't tell him though, but it's very obvious in the way she looks and smiles at him. I can also see that he's in the same boat, but he either doesn't realize it yet, or he's just ignoring his feelings. They all take a bus to the next site, and it's another song and dance, and this time it's during Holi. So Nena is wearing short shorts, and she's swinging her hips the way Lara was on the mountains, but I guess she never really had a problem with that behavior. She was just jealous at the time because Kabir was flirting with her. Anyways, this is the scene that I thought was going to happen earlier, with Kabir realizing Naina has a wild side and there's more to her than he initially thought. And you see, this is what I told you, it's a trope. During the song, we also get a scene of Abi flirting with other girls and Aditi staring longingly. And I do feel bad for her. She's not having a good trip, but she's very good at hiding her feelings and not bringing the mood down for anyone else. The next scene is amazing. It starts with Kabir saying he doesn't want the night to end. Nena is about to confess her love, but then Abi and Aditi show up and ask him about the acceptance letter he had in his bag. Kabir got accepted to a journalist course in America. When the friends leave after that, Kabir admits he's scared to go, and Nena is the one to encourage him to go live his dream. She has a smile on her face and tears in her eyes. He asks her what she was going to say before they were interrupted, and she realizes she can no longer confess her feelings. So she says she just wanted to tell him the night has ended. As she's walking away, still smiling, she thinks to herself that she couldn't tell him because as much as she loves him, he loves his dreams more. Just wow. If I had to choose just one scene as the best in this movie, this might be it. They play a montage of all the time they spent on this trek with friends and each other, and then we cut back to Nina from the start of the movie. And she says it's been 8 years since then, and they haven't seen Kabir. She's so grounded now, and she's smiling at the memories looking out the window in her peaceful, expensive-looking apartment. And then you cut to Kabir, who's overseas, taking photos of the party scene at night. There's drug dealers, prostitutes, there's gay people. When someone shoots a gun, he speeds away on his motorcycle. And it looks like he's really living his best life. But that's not enough. Of course, there's a song showing him as a cameraman now in Paris. It's directed very well, though, combining shots of his new life with the Paris scenery and food as well. Even through the scene, there's still moments where you can see he's not fully content with his new life. And then he gets an invitation to come back to India for Aditi's wedding. And of course, he can't miss that. Cut back to India. This time we're at Aditi's house with Avi, only he's not the groom. I thought the groom is actually there for comic relief because, of course, these two are meant to be together. That night, Naina gives a speech at their party and he says, they say she is Aditi's best friend. So things really have changed since the trip. As she makes her speech, you can see she's practically glowing. She's smiling and confident and so clearly happy for Aditi. As she finishes her speech and starts walking down the stage, the song starts. Which song? I can't pronounce the name, but trust me, guys, it's the song. They've been playing the opening notes throughout the movie, but this is the moment they play the full thing because Kabir has arrived. And it's so high energy, and to do the dance, you have to have so much confidence, but our lead pulls it off. And guys, the song is huge. It might have even been the song of the year when it came out. Even I heard it before, and that's really saying something considering I don't pay attention to Hindi songs my grandparents play on the radio. So at Aditi's wedding, it's like a 5-day event, and during this time, there's a lot of drama. The character I most empathize with, though, is Abi, surprisingly. He has a failing bar that no one, including his father, wants to invest in, and he's still gambling and drinking all the time. He also has a grudge when it comes to Kabir because he completely left them behind and didn't even come back to India for his father's funeral. And I sense some jealousy as well for how Kabir is living his dreams and Abi is stuck in debt with a gambling addiction to boot. So these two guys have a fight and they both let it all out. Abi says Kabir is shameless and a selfish person. Kabir says, at least I'm not a gambler or an alcoholic. Then Aditi comes and makes them apologize to each other, and all three hug. They really are like siblings. And this group of friendship, it just adds so much depth to the story. So the groom does his dance with his cousin Lara, the same Lara from the trek 8 years ago. And I recognize the song playing again, same when Kabir and Nina do their dance. So I'm guessing this was a very popular movie at the time because all the songs are famous. Kabir and Naina spend the day with each other, and they both confess their love for each other. But then Naina points out the obvious, which is that they both have very different things they want out of life, and it wouldn't work out for them. So they're both heartbroken, staring longingly with tears in their eyes at the wedding. As for Aditi, it turns out she's better with Vikram, and the marriage goes through. I really thought Avi would end up with Aditi, but it wasn't to be. After the wedding, Kabir goes to his father's house instead of getting on the plane, and he finally embraces the stepmother. And to go over the timeline, Aditi's wedding was from 20 December to 24 December. We cut out after that to New Year's Eve. Kabir goes to Naina and proposes, and they get on a group call with Aditi on her honeymoon and Avi at his spa, and that's how they bring in the new year. It was such a good movie, guys. I highly recommend watching it if you haven't already. Anyways, be sure to like this video, comment, and subscribe to my channel. Bye.